So in today's video, as promised in the class, we will be designing surveys or questionnaires online. So first of all, you would need to go to this URL, docs.google.com/forms, or you go on Google and search for Google Forms, or when you log into your email, you click on these three dotted lines and then you click on Forms, and it will still take you to this same link. So these are three ways that you can actually arrive here. So when you click on these three dotted lines, you'll see that you can do so many things. Of course, as you know, we have Google Docs for Microsoft Word, Sheets, Excel, Slides for PowerPoint, and Forms for surveys and questionnaires. So when you log in, this is what you will see: blank quiz, assessment, exit ticket, workshop. These are all templates that you can choose from, but for today's example and questionnaire we are developing, we will be mimicking this, which is a questionnaire that a student will print and submit hard copy or administer hard copy to the respondents to respond. So in this case, we want to convert this questionnaire into online questionnaire so that we will send to our respondents. So we can either choose to start from blank, but to save our time, we can choose this assessment. It should work perfectly well for our purpose, and then we'll just start by doing some edits. And also before we start the edits, I will need to show you the interface. So here, responses, this is where you will see responses if people have answered the questionnaire that was developed. Then settings, these are where you will do all the major back-end settings, and here is where you can preview what you have done. So meaning, when we design the questionnaire, if we want to see whether or see how it looks, this is how we go about it. You click on this icon, and then here is undo, and this is redo, and this is how or where to customize the theme. So we go back to questions. If you want, you can change this picture, but for the purpose of today, we just start with this. So here, for example, we have this what is it called, this message from the author. Copy and paste it here. So the title is what you should put up there in this assessment. Put it here, and boom, you already have your title and the consent message from the author. So apart from this, you see that this comes in in different sections, and this part is very important for you, and that is what you will be using. So if you want to add in questions, this is what you are going to use. If you want to import questions, this is what you use. This, if you want to add title or description, if you want to add photo or video, or even if you want to add a section. And if you want to delete any section, you will need to hold here and click on delete. As you can see here, we have deleted the item. If we want to delete the whole section, or if we want to change this, drag it down, you can drag it down and have another. You can do this, and you can click on this and it will be back. So when you click on delete, now we have deleted that item. So for example, if we want to have a description, it says quiz question, but I will not say quiz question. For example, I will say part 1, demographic profile of respondents. Then you can just put a description, but this is optional. They will say this is where we collect information about our respondents. This is just an example. So you can enter all this age, portal usage by coming here, say add question, for example. So is this question a multiple choice question or a short answer or a paragraph or check boxes or drop down? What is it? You need to give the choice. So we see here, this is actually a checkbox, age. So age, option 1 is not short answer, we have it as multiple choice, I think, right? So option 1 is 18 to 25. This is 25 to 30, for example. And then if the question is required, then you will click on this to show that the question must be answered before the student can move to the next question. Next is so this, I'm just giving one example. So next we move to part 2. You now have part 2 dependent variable. So how do you do this? So easily you can just duplicate this part here, duplicate. So you can see this part now has now been duplicated, and then you drag it all the way down under this age and say part 2, and you call it what was it here, independent variable, Control C, independent variable, and description is this, description of the question is this. Go back here and you paste it here. And now what is the first question? The first question says the portal provides sufficient information. Then you put it as your question. The portal option 1 is what? Strongly agree, agree, neutral, strongly, oh no, disagree, and strongly disagree. As simple as that. So for the next question now, which is question 2 here, all you need to do is what? Duplicate this question, and you have your question number 2. Duplicate this question and you delete this and you copy this question. And this is how you will do for all the questions, and that is exactly how you set up online questionnaire. So now, after setting up the online questionnaire, what do you need to do? You will need to send it to your respondents. So when you send to respondent, you automatically put their emails here and then write your message. If you feel this message is okay, you leave it here, and if you don't, you compose your own message. And basically that is about it. So let's preview it to see how our questionnaire look. This is how it will look when you send it to your respondent. See how clean it is. And of course we haven't finished setting it up, so that's why we see all this. And let's see settings. If we say, for example, immediately release grade immediately after or later after manual review, this is depending on how you want it. Responses, manage how responses are. So send respondents a copy of their response. So allow people to edit their response after they have already submitted. No, I don't think this is a good idea. And these are all other settings. Collect email addresses of the respondent by default. If you feel like you want that, that is important for you, then you can do that. So that is how you will set up your online questionnaire and how you will send it to the respondent. So thank you, and I will see you in our next tutorial, which is how do you retrieve the questions that have been answered. Like I told you, you will see them here, and I will show you in the next video how you can download the Excel file. Thank you, and see you in the next.